remember when the Republicans were just all aflutter and highly pissed off when the Homeland Security report warned us about right-wing terrorists? Remember that? Huh? What have we had now in 9 days? 2 killing attacks by right-wing crazy people in this country, right-wing terrorists. I doubt if there will be any rush to apologize to Secretary Janet Napolitano. But as our military affairs correspondent writes, Sharon writes, you can't convince me that all the melodramatic talk about President Obama by Republicans and talk show hosts, talk of his socialism and his discrimination against white men and his weakened national security and he's not a citizen and where's his birth certificate, all this garbage isn't having an effect on these right-wing crazies. 2 words, Sharon writes, Timothy McVeigh. Yeah, it is having an effect. And it's more than having an effect. The crazy right-wing talk that blankets this country every day without let-up, starting at 6 in the morning and usually going until at least 7 o'clock at night. And then some of it is repeated in reruns. This craziness that you hear coast to coast, border to border, is one of the major factors in the insanity that we're facing right now, in these hate crimes, in the killings. It's astonishing. These right-wing neo-Nazis, skinheads, religious fanatics, crazy people like just eaten up with fear and self-loathing and self-contempt and hatred for just anything or anybody that doesn't look exactly like them. And in fact, even they hate themselves, obviously, this acting out that they do with their guns. All of this is being generated by, fed by, encouraged by people like Glenn Beck, Neil Bortz, Sean Hannity, the Pig Man, Michael Savage, these people on the radio station in Portland, Oregon. Was it Portland or was it Sacramento? Who decided to beat up on transgender children. Michael Savage in San Francisco, who decided to beat up on autistic children. There's no limits to these people anymore. Look, this is a country of 300 million plus people. If 10% of us are certifiably insane, but on the loose, that's 30 million people. If 5% of us are certifiably insane, but on the loose, that's 15 million people. If 2.5% of us are certifiably insane, but on the loose, that's 7.5 million people. When, seriously, when are we going to wake up in this country to, I hate that expression, but when are we going to wake up in this country to the fact that this daily blanketing of the country, coast to coast, border to border, with this right-wing insanity on talk radio, when are we going to wake up to the fact that this is killing us, it's murdering us, it's destroying everything that we thought we have? When are we going to wake up to that and do something? When are we going to take the utilitarian approach to talk radio and say, look, for the good of the majority of people in this country, we're going to end, that's right, end it. There's not going to be any more of this wall-to-wall hatred, this wall-to-wall misinformation, the lies. I have tried to figure out if there's anything that you hear on right-wing talk radio that even comes close to the truth. And the answer, the quick answer is no. No, there's nothing out there. Everything from Matt Drudge all the way down the food chain to the most insignificant little gutter snipe working on some radio station in Kentucky or California or South Carolina. Every single thing they say is a lie. Everything, unless they're reporting on the latest Hollywood news or something. It's all lies. It's all deception. It's misinformation. It's disinformation. So how much longer? How much longer? Today, we had to endure An 88-year-old white supremacist with a rifle walking into the Holocaust Memorial Museum in Washington, D.C. and opening fire. A security guard tonight, Stephen T. Johns, is dead because Rush Limbaugh and Neil Bortz and Sean Hannity and Matt Drudge and Michael Savage and all the rest of Glenn Beck, all the rest of these people pump daily, hourly, minute by minute into public discourse hatred, fear, contempt. They do it every day. They do it without let-up. They are not self-censoring. It's a constant deluge in this country of this poison from these right-wingers. Poison. This guy was a member of freerepublic.com. And as our technical advisor emailed me earlier tonight, my comment on Freepers, and you may quote me, Freepers are their own special sort of crazy, distill all the paranoia of the John Birch Society, inform it with the skewed worldview of Rush Limbaugh, and then season with white supremacism, militia weapon fetishes, and garnish that with delightful tang of inbreeding, and you have Freeperville. For those of you who are subscribers to the Malloy podcasts, and in that... In doing that, you have access to the Malloy's Uncensored mailbag videos that we put up periodically, usually once a week, sometimes a little bit longer. You know the kinds of emails that I get here. And, you know, what do I attack? And I attack nightly. What do I attack on this program? I attack bigotry, racism, sexism, corporatism, the destruction of the Constitution, the liars, the cheats, the cowards, the sneaks. And just from my own point of view, not that it bothers me, I find it kind of amusing. And I mean that literally. That's why we have Malloy's Uncensored Mailbag, to put that garbage up, so we can all get a chuckle out of it. It's not scary stuff to me, but I'm not a security guard at the Holocaust Memorial Museum in Washington, D.C. And I'm not a medical doctor that operates within what one would presume would be a cone of privacy around a woman and her physician and her partner or spouse or husband or girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever. But the hatred that's pumped into this country daily by so-called, into discourse by these right-wing talk show hosts, these so-called Christians, it is without let-up. It does not stop. It's wall-to-wall, moment-to-moment. It goes on all day long, border-to-border, coast-to-coast. From Focused on the Family to Limbaugh's little hate fest to Neil Bortz, who I don't understand how Neil Bortz has managed to stay alive as long as he has because of the vitriolic hatred that he puts out over the air. On and on and on about poor people and black people and Mexican people and immigrant people. It never stops.